And hello, ladies and gentlemen, DHR2. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to special edition of Let's Talk, episode 50. Yes, that's right. We hit the mark, the 50th, the 50th episode of Let's Talk. We got a whole lot of things to talk about from the good things and the bad things, the good things and the bad things about the Neo Saban era. And oh boy, we're going on a trip. So this time I'm not gonna be ranting, nothing like that. So I'm gonna try to stay professional as I can because I do have my way of having opinions on certain things that I dislike about the newest Bond era. So you cannot wrong me for that. So, um, before I begin this topic, if you're new to this, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, or should I say, a live stream, this live stream, a thumbs up if you must, and follow me on Instagram if you must as well. I've always put my Instagram in the description box. Sometimes I forget to put them in, but I really need y'all to check me out on social media. So, yeah. So with that being said, let's get into the biggest elephant in the room, the super seasons of the dreadful Neo Saban era. So, let's talk about the history of the word super. The word super is kind of like a character who has more superpowers, who is big and strong and confident. You know, someone who is motivated, that can overpower another human being, that can overpower their powers. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? So, that's what super is. And I kind of felt like, that's what everything went wrong with Samurai, uh, the series that had a copy paste of Shikinger. Even though Time Force did it with Time Ranger, at least they did it better than what Neo Saban era tried to do, the rehashing of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the music and stuff, and somehow it didn't really click right, and the story just didn't make any sense at all, and I for one just don't like the way it came out, especially when it came to the writing and the horrible acting of the Blue and Pink Ranger. Matter of fact, all of them except for Mike, aka Hector David Jr. He was the only actor that I like on the show, but to be honest, the whole season just sucked. And from season one to season two, that's when everything just went downhill from there. I tried giving the season a pass, but somehow I just couldn't. Just I feel like the second season was just so bad. I feel like the more acting they're doing, the more terrible I've seen. It's like the Yellow Ranger's actress was acting as if that she just she was seen out of a horror movie or something. Like, I know Power Rangers is known for a whole lot of dramatic stuff, but if you're doing it, acting it over the top, like you're overdoing it, that's gonna cause a lot of viewers to be turned off about it. So that's basically why I was turned off from Samurai season. I just thought it was garbage. And I know it has its fans, but it was still trash. I'm sorry, but I'm just not feeling it. So if you thought Samurai was terrible, Megaforce, both seasons were complete garbage from left to right. So-called 20th anniversary felt like nothing. I feel like I got absolutely nothing out of that season. Just a bunch of generic acting and boring storylines. Like, I feel like it was all over the place. Whether it was to be about a rehash of Mighty Morphin, or did it, you know, I feel like Megaforce just fell all the way through. You know, it fell flat on his face. Andrew Gray, his actor, I mean, Troy sucked. As a Red Ranger, he was complete garbage. He's a terrible actor. He was like a freaking robot. And you know what? If Hasbro would to make a Power Rangers Megaforce reboot, have the Red Ranger have an origin of him being a robot slash human being, kind of like how Matt was in Operation Overdrive. Don't even get me started on that crappy season. So that's not worth mentioning at all. So Troy from Megaforce and Super Megaforce was pretty terrible. And I mean, when I say he was terrible, he was pretty terrible. His acting was pure garbage, left and right. It's like there's been plot holes being filled all over the place. And Super 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 Mega Force just it was one of the worst. I mean, it did not feel like Power Rangers at all. They're using, you know, suits from the previous Sentai, well, pre-Zhu Rangers, like Mask Man, Gold Ranger, Die Ranger, Mask Man, Flash Man, Dynaman. No, I don't think Dynaman was used, was it? Change Man, um, Live Man, Jet Man. You know, I don't see them ever using Zhu Ranger suits except for episode 5. And they still use some pre-Zhu Ranger teams, and that really turned me off. And I did not like that at all. I really didn't. So I'm sitting here and I was just watching this episode, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was, you know what? I really hated this season. Everybody hated this season. But you got some idiots of the newest Bond era fans, aka the fans, the smarts, will say that the season is good. It was terrible. I mean, it was awesome. No, it's not. Both Megaforce seasons were bad. I mean, it was straight up terrible because it felt like a waste of time. Even their so-called legendary battle wasn't even memorable at all because one, Tommy came back as the White Ranger. Then out of nowhere, he got his Green Ranger powers without even mentioning where he got his Green Ranger powers back. I mean, I just don't understand. Even all of the legends, that came right after Mighty Morphin got, you know, they never had a line at all, except for West when he was telling the Rangers that we're welcome to fight with you anytime. And Cassie had, one liner. TJ had a little bit of liner when him and Cassie were in the elevator, saving those people from there. Uh, I mean, this was just dreadful to watch. It was really, really terrible. And Jonathan Tazasher, and it turns out that he was such a Sentai fanboy that he wanted this show to be just like Sentai, but it ended up being. That's why Saban ended up firing his behind in the first place. So he was never mentioned again or brought back. So I was watching some YouTube videos, right? And I kind of noticed that Chip Lynn actually had some ideas, but his ideas got turned down by Jonathan. How terrible. Chip Lynn also had some good ideas for Wild Force. He wanted to write that season way back in '02, but that his ideas got shut down by Jonathan Disaster as well. So it really goes to show you that Jonathan is the joke of a franchise. He's always has been and forever will be a joke and a cancer to the our franchise. So I think both Megaforce seasons were complete garbage, and I said that with passion. I don't see it. I don't say that just to be joking. That's a fact, straight fact. So flash forward to 1 year later, Dino Chargers came out. Chip Lynn was in charge of season one, basically, and it felt like a breath of fresh air when it came to the writing and the storytelling. Um, Tyler became Tyler ended up becoming one of my favorite Rangers from season one of Donald Charge because he was one of the most popular Rangers. Shout out to Brendan Mejia. His actor was amazing. All of them were amazing. Uh, and Yoshi Sudorso was my favorite ranger on the show, aka Koda. Um, Koda was our very first caveman Power Ranger, and it worked. He had a backstory slash, Fury was trying to take his energy gem, but he ended up, well, he won, but he ended up being dropped down by a saber-toothed tiger with the most ugliest CGI ever, and he was frozen for millions and thousands of years before he was brought back to life by Miss Morgan, Kinder Morgan. Uh, so Ivan was trapped in Fury's body for decades when Fury was trying to take Ivan's inner gem when they both had a one-on-one fight, but he ended up being trapped inside his body. So when that when in episode 10, you know, he was free and he ended up showing them who's boss. So Ivan ended up becoming an interesting character, and he was a pretty good Six Ranger too. Shelby, I like her, but she was not the best Peak Ranger. But even though she was our first African American Peak Ranger, which is nice by the way, representing the black community. Yes, I know I'm stop. I'm being stupid. You guys see where I'm coming from with this. I like her character. Um, I like when she told that her idol, that professor, off about how bad his ego is, and I like that. I like that, and I love that. Um, I did not. I was not a fan of Chase at all. I just thought he was a non-interesting character. He was too laid back and okay, what is going on? Okay, the Wi-Fi is on. So here's my thoughts on this stuff. Season one of Dino Charge was good, not great, but season two was a complete mess. Dino Supercharged was no brainer. I mean, the story was so bad, the writing was all over the place, and you know, the finale was pretty bad to say the least. Um, Ninja Steel was god awful. I mean, it did not feel like ninjas at all. No ninja training, no martial arts fight scenes whatsoever. I mean, all they did was use gadgets in their Megazord fights. And that was it. Nothing interesting about Ninja Steel was ever that good from the start. And I say that with a passion. You know what I'm saying? So nothing about this season was ever good at all. Their toys were terrible. I mean, it was so garbage. Everybody hated the season. What's up, Brandon? Everybody hated the season left and right. And I can tell you from my experience with this show, I did my reactions to that show on my other channel, DHR1. You guys go check it out. Uh, I was kind of supportive, but after realizing how terrible it's gotten, I tuned out. And I think, to me, Power Rangers has history of hiring actors who were models rather than talents. Dancers, martial artists, or gymnasts, or even good acting. But they rather hire actors with no acting experience whatsoever. They rather hire fitness models with their big booties and all that, like the Pink Ranger was a Ninja Steel, who is another Kimberly of the Neo Saban era. And I'm sorry about her. I don't like neither of them characters at all. The show was just straight up terrible. So season two was even worse. They showed stuff before the actors told on everything. and that was not good at all. And they were talking down to the kids once again. They've been doing that for decades, so ain't nothing new. But I just felt like this season was a giant waste. So I believe episode 10 was great. Well, I think I'm 11 or I don't know. No, episode 10 was good. Not well, it wasn't even that great. Can't wait to say it, man. And don't forget to follow me. Um, Dementia's in Danger was what it was. I reacted to that channel last year, but it got blocked by many countries, thanks to Hasbro and them. Fortunate. Um, it's still in my playlist, but I have to tell you, my quality was pretty terrible. So you might see some shakiness and some bumpy, some errors and some botches here and there, but so just enjoy it, I guess. I tried, but I did enjoy the show though. But just seeing the Falcon Sword, Tommy morphing into his three Ranger forms from Zero Red down on Thunder Black. No, Zero Red made it with white and green. That was in the actual episode, but in an extended version, uh, Tommy morphed into Dino Thunder Black. Then he morphed into Zero Red, then white and green to finish off his clone. And the fight lasted 3 minutes. It did not feel rushed like they did in the episode, you know. But it was great seeing the. But it was great seeing the Falcon Zord um, back in action, and it felt great. Just seeing the CGI, Tom in his season 3 cockpit, that was awesome. At least they did stay true to that source material. So if they can do that, why couldn't they do that in the 2017 movie? So okay, um, after that dreadful Ninja Steel, which was terrible, I hated that season from my gut. I hated the season within my soul. I do not like it. It's garbage. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But thankfully, the Neo Saban era was over. So, so out of all the Neo Saban seasons that I like, was season 1 of Dino Charge. That was it. However, the Super seasons were garbage. It was so garbage. I did not enjoy those seasons whatsoever. When you put the word super, that means it's gonna suck. And prove this right. So thankfully Hasbro has taken over, so it's already taking Power Rangers to like through the storm. So you guys know how I am with Power Rangers, right? When it comes to Hasbro, they know how to run our franchise right. Beast Morphers is a hit show. It's a smash hit. According to us, because we love the show. Kids love the show. The show was good. It was awesome. The merchandise is great. The landing collection is awesome. I love that. And the characters of Beast Morphers were a lot better than the Neo Saban era characters. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And get this, there's going to be no super seasons in Hasbro era. Thank the Lord for that. Because I was pretty worried when I heard they're going to be doing 2 seasons, which means they're going to be doing super. Thank God it's none of that. When they showed the trailers at San Diego Comic Con this year, uh, a few episodes, the Red Fury modes and everything, in the finale battles, next season, new Zords, a team up. Austin St. John returning for the first time since Forever Red. Um, I guess it's gonna be Beast Mode for season 2. And you know what? I'm definitely okay with that. So you guys already know how I feel about these seasons just being one. If you're gonna do two seasons, keep it keep the name the same. Don't change into no super, no ultra, none of that. Hasbro said don't expect anything super, the word super, in the next season. Thank God, thank the Lord in heavens that they did not do that. So, yeah, that's my video on the history of the super seasons in the Neo Saban era. What was your thoughts on the super seasons in the Neo Saban era? I would love to hear it from you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Until then, this is your boy DHR2. Much love.